Yeah, I'm not sure where Stanaway is either.
All right. Well, we are live. So, good evening, everyone. Good evening, people of the internet. We are Dungeons and Dorks, and we are currently playing a custom adventure based on the events of Legends of Baldur's Gate, a comic book by IDW that takes place during the events of Horde of the Dragon Queen. So my players are currently going over the events of the comic book. I'll start like I always do with, a summary of what happened during our previous campaign. You guys made it to Baldur's Gate. You were contacted by members of the Cult of the Dragon, because you guys are, disguised as members of the cult under the, by request of Sir Arthur Froome from the Order of the Gauntlet. You guys decided to follow his orders, travel to Baldur's Gate, and disguise yourself as cultists. Once you made it there, you contacted the cult. The cult leader requested that you do him a solid and go get his sister in exchange for not sending you to the town of Fandolin, where you guys are from, actually, as scouts for the cult, and instead placing you as the personal escort, or at least part of the escort of Lady Resmer, which is the person that you guys are trying to trail. One thing led to another. You guys find the girl. The girl turns out to be a wild wizard, and during a spur of wild magic, she revived the long dead hero Minsk.
Oh my god!
Hooray!
After a fight with the Lena, the cult leaders. Oh, hold on. I have something from Brian Ulbrich. Maybe he's not here. Can I? Oh, he didn't get a chat invite. Let me at him.
Ah.
Oh.
That will explain why he's not here.
What?
Cool. So Ulbrich should be joining us pretty soon. So you guys found Alina, the cult sister, and met up with her, party, so to say. And after an encounter with them, you guys traveled to a random tavern in the upper district of Baldur's Gate, and that is where you guys are currently are. You guys came clean. You told Alina and the members of her party, Minsk, Curdle, and Shandy, that you are not really members of the cult, that you're posing as members of the cult because you're trying to, bring him down from the inside, so to speak. And that is where we left off. So you guys are currently inside a random discreet inn in the upper districts of Baldur's Gate. You guys are all having a friendly conversation about, what to do next. That's it. What do you guys do?
Alright. So we need to find a way of getting her to her brother so that the brother will put us on this mission, but not have him, I don't know, kill her or whatever.
Curdle. Kriddles, who seems to be the leader of the other party, of the Lena's party, actually reveals something himself. He comes clean to his group as well as to you guys, and he mentions that he is being blackmailed, likely by the Cult of the Dragon. He doesn't know who's trying to blackmail him, but certainly by a group that is threatening him to reveal some dirty secrets about him and his father if he doesn't turn Delina in. He says...
Well, isn't everyone in a sharing mood tonight?
Yeah. He says that, he would rather die than do harm to Delina. But he, brings this up. And he suggests that as much as it pains him, it's... I think that it might be a good idea to bring his dad into the loop.
Who's dad?
Who's his dad?
He hasn't said. I did mention who his dad was last week.
Someone like really high up, right?
Yes.
Some marshal or some
he's a really high member, but you guys don't know that yet. I know that I revealed who his dad was last week, but it was a little too early. Exactly, your characters don't know, but you can tell though that he is very hesitant about bringing his father into the loop of what's going on, and he feels that he's against the wall, so to speak, and this is sort of a last option. He promises that his
my
dad...
father was an orc. How much worse can you get?
A lot.
It can get a lot worse. He promises though that even though his father is a douche, so to speak, he will definitely help the party out because it is in his interest to do so. Whatever they're blackmailing him with involves his father as much as Squirtle.
Ah.
Okay. Self-preservation.
Yep.
Powerful motivation.
Yep. And actually,
That's my favorite.
I need to bring a little something. So while you guys discuss the course of action, I'm gonna go to my bookshelf and I'm gonna go get something. So I'll be back in a minute.
All right.
Well, it seems like we got to involve this guy anyways, so might as well. I'm just kind of afraid.
I don't like this because we're trying to be covert.
Yeah, like I'm afraid we'll end up driving out the cult because our whole goal is to get in with the cult, right? We can't exactly drive them from the city.
Do you think if we killed that other elf guy, he would have some information on him that would help us find the caravan, and we could just join up that way? Because this is starting to get more and more complicated.
We can't kill him. We'd have to torture him, and I'm not sure because we would have to get information from him, right? We can't.
He might have it written down.
Here's the thing: if the cult smells that something's wrong in the city, they're probably just going to go around and go through. So killing him
would be bad, but then we can't just exactly turn this girl over either.
Yeah.
Why not?
Did you guys have any questions about the cult or this particular cell of the cult in Baldur's Gate that you think might make your decision easier, or
Oh, I was voting that we just tried to kill him and hoped that he had information written down somewhere. But that shouldn't really surprise you. That's my solution.
Yeah.
Well, Konar is not the most subtle instrument of destruction.
I guess well then you bring up a point where how well linked is this cell to the main body of the cult? Like, is this just some satellite thing that's not really important, or is this like a big important stop for the cult? Is Baldur's Gate really that important of a stop for the cult traveling to somewhere else under disguise?
Yeah.
And I don't know who I would ask that to. I guess Gru.
Probably, and basically, what we're the thing that I would be worried about is if we stir up too much crap here, and the cult notices that it's not safe here, the caravan or something which might divert somewhere else, and we would have a really hard time getting it with them.
You guys can keep
think
on
we
having
need
that
to be-
conversation, and you can ask me something a little more specific when you guys feel that you need an answer. I am actually adjusting our layout right now because I realized that something happened, and for some reason I lost a couple of cameras. There we go. We're good now.
Okay, so I guess the specific question is, if something unfortunate happened to the elf dude, would that severely hamper our chances of getting in with the cult caravan?
Something unfortunate.
All right. So Gru knows the following because Gru has a secret identity as a entry-level cultist, so to speak. The cult has small cells of about 20 or so, members on every important city. From that cell, they divide into small scouting groups of 4 or so individuals who scout the towns around the big city, where they would go and loot. However, they know that the big cities are too well defended to be, attacked. So the cult is not going to go and attack Baldur's Gate because it's a very strong, well defended city. But they, from Baldur's Gate, orchestrate attacks to the smaller towns and the smaller cities around that area. Gru also knows, and anyone trained in religion, so Ulbrich and Grimly, know that the cult of the dragon as a whole is in this weird chaotic state where they're transitioning from a period where they used to revive Dracolishes and using them in order to gain power, to this weird, or I shouldn't say weird, but unusual for the cult of the dragon worshipping of Tiamat. So there's a lot of chaos in the group per se. That is not unusual for leader of the city cells to be discovered and killed. And,
Yay!
If that is the case, normally the surviving members try to put together the cell as much as they can while a more senior member arrives and puts order, so to speak, to that particular city again. Okay, well, you guys were having this conversation. Shandy, the halfling member of the other party, just brought something up, or sort of slipped her tongue, so to say. She says, "Yeah, Curdle doesn't have a good relationship with his dad. Apparently, he abandoned him or something like that. I don't really know, but I just know that he doesn't have a good relationship with his father. His father is a member of the Council of Peers." And she says something along the lines of, I think his name is Corin or something like that. And I'll show you what he looks like because he's actually a very popular recurring character in Dungeons and Dragons. I got this last week, So Corin used to be a game character in the old
Huh.
Baldur's Gate games, and he recently appeared in an adventure called uh, Murder in Baldur's Gate, and he appears in this adventure again. Uh, as soon as Shandy says the name Corin, Minsk lights up, and he says, "Oh my God, my friend Corin! I shall go and talk to him, and we will bring this, problem to an end." And Minsk
no.
just darts out the door. It turns out that Minsk and Corin go way back to the Baldur's Gate games, where they used to be characters that the players, could recruit. So Minsk just leaves, and he's running, as fast as his legs can take him to the palaces of the small council, where right now they are hosting a really big social gathering for the upper class of Baldur's Gate.
Oh God.
Okay, well, I think this is satisfactory. Let's solve the problem.
Should one of us follow Minsk just to figure out what the hell's going on?
Actually, without waiting for your reaction,
He's
Delina
bolt. Oh,
Delina and Shandy bolt after him.
I guess we all follow, or at least I follow.
Okay.
I don't know about the rest
Yeah,
of
I
you
suppose
guys.
we should follow her.
Sounds
Alright.
like a fun party. I'm in.
I need marching instructions, so to speak. Who is trying to keep up with Minsk, and who is trying to keep up with Delina and Shandy?
I'm keeping up. I'm following Valina. He can do what he wants.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm sticking with Alina on this one as well.
Okay.
Same.
Wait, who's Shandy again?
Shandy is the rogue
Is Shandy the
of
rogue?
other party. Yeah, I can
The
actually.
stabbing
follow-
person who was stabbing people.
I'll follow the rogue.
Okay, so Shandy and Delina are trying to keep up with Minsk as best as they can, unsuccessfully, because Minsk is strong and fast, and he's just gunning for the chambers of the small council. Eventually, Minsk makes it to the gates of the small council, where he is received by a guard at the gate, an unarmed guard. I forget the name, but it's the guy that announces the presence of an important person when they come into the chamber. Forget the name for that. Announcer.
I should know it too, but
Yeah,
I totally
announcer,
blanked.
whatever.
That dude.
The announcer is surprised to see, the towering figure of someone improperly dressed for the occasion. But before he gets ready to dismiss him, a nobleman, impressed by the detail of what he considers to be a disguise
Oh
of
no.
the noble ranger, comes in, and he says, "Oh, look at this! It's the noble ranger, a troubadour disguised as the deer ranger. Oh, come in, come in! You shall bring, entertainment and happiness to the party." And he pulls in, Minsk. And you guys just make it in time to see the nobleman, to hear the conversation, and see the nobleman just pull Minsk into the party. Shandy is looking at
Great.
you confused, and she says, "What the hell do we do?"
I say we follow him in.
I say we let this play out because I'm not going out there and causing a scene.
Yeah, I would follow him in. At least try to sneak in, maybe. because I'm all stealthy and
I
whatnot.
vote we just walk past the announcer while she's too busy staring back, going, "What the hell's going on?" If
Well-
we can.
As Konar tries to push his way in, the announcer, gently puts a hand on Konar's chest and says, "Who are you? Are you with him?"
Yeah, we're part of his performing group. Circus team.
All right, and with that, which is exactly what happens in the fucking comic book.
We have our knife throwing guy. We have our two dwarven acrobats here. You should see them balance on each other's shoulders.
Yeah.
I approve of this.
And with that, which I will say is exactly what happens in the comic books,
Really?
the announcer says, "Go in before I change my mind." So I will show you a little handout that I created. So this is what you guys see.
Security here is terrible.
Oh, you cannot hear me?
No, he said the security here is terrible.
Yeah. So this is what you guys see, when you go in. A lot of luxury, a lot of decadence. While the lower city of Baldur's Gate starves to death, the citizens of the upper city live in other, luxury. Here in the picture, you can see a whole bunch of people, including Minsk towards the bottom, who is being currently escorted by the nobleman, who thinks he's a troubadour of some sort, and Shandy and Delina, who are trying to follow him close by. And you guys are, following Delina and Shandy.
If there's like a out of line of sight of people, anything, I'm gonna go there and switch to nobleman disguise.
Okay. You successfully do so. You hide behind one of the curtains and come out disguised as or wearing clothes fitting those of a nobleman.
The rest of us are all in our stinky armor with our weapons.
Okay. Minsk, I wouldn't say he's lost, but he's definitely mingling with the crowd of noble people of Baldur's Gate. What did you guys do? Are you looking for Curdle? Are you trying to follow Minsk and preventing him from getting into trouble? Are you just sort of following Delina and Shandy? What are your actions? You guys are in a very elegant ballroom full of snobby people. Some of them are actually beginning to look at you weird because you guys are certainly out of place.
I look at the party weirdly. Hey, who are they?
This could be a problem, actually.
Well,
We just lost.
Oh, no, he's back.
He's back.
And muted. No, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Let's see. I vote we. So what exactly is our goal behind finding the father here, the other adventurer guy?
It's not. We don't exactly have a goal. We're just doing it because Minsk decided to take off running.
Yeah.
And you guys decided to follow him.
However, as far as the other ex-adventurer guy, Curdle did promise that his father's connections would, help with this situation.
Yeah, so I suppose our best bet is to try to track this guy down and persuade him to help out, or, worst case scenario, kidnap him too. I mean, no. I would never. That would be my vote, although, quite frankly, Konar is probably more interested in finding the punch bowl. Or whatever else.
Yeah.
Or, the full bar kind of setup.
Actually, if that is what Konar would do, go ahead and do so. There is a lot of very good food that even Konar, who is well off, finds hard to afford.
Yeah, one of my flaws
show this
is
again.
one of my character's flaws is enamored of ale, wine, and other intoxicants. So yeah, I'm gonna go find a bar
Sounds good.
or make my way over to the bar.
All right.
Where's Alana?
Delina is currently trying to find Minsk, who, sort of disappear into the crowd. So she's walking around, looking around, bumping into people while she looks around. Shandy, though, seems to be looking for Criddle.
Looking for what?
Criddle, their leader.
Yeah.
But while sticking to Delina is a bit of a klutz, so she doesn't want to leave him,
Yeah. Alright, so yeah, I guess. Well, I mean, I'm not involved, so you guys go. You guys pick.
I'm staying with Delina.
Yeah, I will too.
Yeah, Konar just goes, ooh, and wanders off and starts sampling different colored liquids.
Wait, what is happening to Minsk right now, other than him being, I guess, sort of confused?
Well, he's not really confused. He truly is trying to look for his friend Corin. And he's gonna try to appeal for his help too. It's just,
Okay.
he didn't realize that Criddle was Corin's son.
Ah. I'll just stick with, I guess, Alina. Stick with the group.
Okay, so you guys are all sticking with Delina.
And looking awkward in my monk robes.
All right, perfect. A few minutes go by without a lot of excitement. I should say until Delina bumps into, a random dude wearing nobleman's clothes, and she realizes that this dude, as a matter of fact, you all realize that this dude is a member of the Cult of the Dragon.
Yay!
So a nobleman.
This is just going
who
fantastic.
So a nobleman who happens to be a member of the cult. She looks at him.
Wait, how does she know?
Because it was one of the douchebags that attacked her in the plaza.
Oh.
Wait, didn't we kill all the people?
No, the first time when she accidentally turned Minsk alive. We didn't get the chance to fight them before the guards showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought it was only the gargoyles that were attacking her. I didn't realize there were actually people attacking her. Oh,
Yeah, I
alright.
don't remember people.
Yeah, I just remember gargoyles.
Yep. So this is one of the guys you thought you killed.
Wait,
Thought we killed?
Wait, what?
what?
I didn't fight anyone in that encounter.
No, this is the guys from the encounter in the wide, who you thought you killed.
One of the guys that we dumped in the sewer.
Yes.
Well, poop.
Lovely.
This just got awkward.
Who the hell did raise dead on him? Well, actually, I'm not with the party, but I probably noticed this much.
I play dumb and don't notice him.
Wait,
Well,
it was dark. Does he know what we look like? Just out of
Depends.
I
You and I are the only ones with Delina.
Oh.
Wait, no, all of you except for me, basically.
not me. You
No. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's just me and
So-
guys actually probably don't even know what I look like at this point.
that's true.
God damn it.
He
You
just
could
doesn't.
be the guy we're looking at.
So Gru is doing Gru things. Konar is getting drunk off the punch, and Albrecht and Tanis.
Tannis are facing down a guy we thought we killed.
Not really. So Delina looks at this guy. The guy looks at Delina, and she goes, "You're one of the douchebags that attacked us in the wide." And as a reflex, almost, she tries to cast a spell.
Oh no.
Oh, I'm going to grab her hand and just bring it down.
Okay, give
And,
me
like-
a dexterity roll for that,
Okay.
because you're close enough to her to prevent her from doing something like that.
Let me find my character sheet.
Let's not cast random things at random people.
That is a very good thing, because that's exactly what was going to happen.
Just a dex roll?
Yes,
Wait, is it?
Thank God you're fast.
it's a reflex, roll.
So is it
So
a
that's
save?
dexterity
Would it be considered a
save,
save?
right?
No, I have a DC that you need to beat.
Okay, so it's not a save.
No, it's a
Well,
dex
save
check.
has a DC.
Sort of, I guess. It's not a save. Well, just give me a
No,
point.
no, it's a dexterity check.
Yeah, it's a dexterity check. But
Okay.
I know what Konar was trying to say, but no, it's a dexterity check.
Okay, so my dex is what? Save. Oh, it's a save bonus. So I have a +4 in dex.
Yeah, I
So
was
it's just
gonna say
D20
that.
+4.
Yep, that's it.
Did I roll horribly? I heard it. Oh.
No, not good.
Oh yeah, I rolled pretty bad.
Um,
It was actually a normal DC, so if you've gotten anything higher than a 10,
Oh.
so, am I? I don't think I'm fast enough to stop her any faster. Am I?
you know what? I'm gonna give you a chance to try.
Okay. I mean, it's basically a D20. I don't have any bonus. Oh, nice. I trip and fall.
So yes,
They trip over each other. They both try to go for it at the same time and just like lock each other up.
you guys look very worried at Delina as she begins to raise her hands. You launch yourselves forward in order to stop her, but do not successfully do so before she tries to cast a spell, which ends up being in yet another, spur of wild magic.
God damn it.
This time, the entire chambers of the, where the socials are being held, are covered in this purple mist. So this explosion of purple just happened to cover everything in the room.
Well,
Is
that
it
works
bad if
out.
I'm- Is it bad if I'm picturing Jimi Hendrix playing?
You and all of the people in the room hear Minsk and Curdle yell, Delina!
Lovely.
What is the Dragon Cult nobleman doing? And how thick is this mist?
It's really thick.
Okay.
Like, can he still see the cultist, or is he gone?
You guys can barely see the cultists. You guys can still barely see Delina. I would say that visibility is blocked, 3 feet away from you guys. So it is very thick. So, Konar does not see anything, or at least is not able to see the party. Guru is not able to see the party, and you guys are sort of able to see each other as long as you stay 3 feet from one another.
I say, what is going on?
What is going on?
Hey,
My word!
I think I'm gonna go pick up Delina.
Like literally pick her up.
I'm going to literally pick her up and carry her out of this party.
Okay. You are blocked by the douche that Delina identified, who confronts you and says, "Have you not caused enough trouble?" And another dude who came from the mist apparently had the same idea as you did and tries to pick up Delina.
Son of a bitch.
I will step in the way, or at least try to step in the way of the other dude.
Okay, so now Tanis is blocking the other dude who tried to pick up Delina. Albrecht has another, the original cultist that first appeared in front of him. Delina is a little confused.
I will fix this mess right now. We are going.
Who do you address? The cultist?
The guy. Yeah, the cultist.
Wait, does the cultist know that we are...
He knows.
Do these cultists
Yeah, he does.
know that...
I mean,
Oh, okay.
At least the one that's right in front of Albrecht knows that, that you guys are not truly who you say you are. I mean, you guys did beat him
No,
up.
I guess my question is, do they know that we're posing as dragon
Yes.
cultists? Oh, they do?
And we're not posing as dragon cultists. We're mercenaries.
Oh, okay.
But they also happened to know about our other projects.
Mm-hmm.
Because we can't keep our mouths shut.
In our defense, we didn't know they were there and invisible.
We need to kill these fools.
No.
We're at a big party with important people and security and...
That's the best time.
No, but it's all... No one can
Smoke.
see 3 feet in front of them. They can't see anything.
So
Right.
are you gonna smack the guy? 'Cause right now I just said what I've got to say and I'm waiting. It's your move, Jerry. Diego.
What do you do, Jerry? Albrecht is ready to throw down.
I'm ready to fix this, and I don't know what's happening next. That's what I said.
Oh, okay,
I'll
okay.
fix this. That's what I
Okay.
said. I don't know what's
Okay,
happening.
Okay.
He's trying
You
to
can
fix
ignore
this.
me and smack someone.
So
don't
yeah,
care.
I guess Albrecht is trying to distract the first dude or confuse him or something.
All right. I will just still continue to stand in front of the other cultist, but I won't make a
Wait, there's
move.
2 of them?
There's
There's
two.
two of them now.
I
Another
won't
one.
make a move, but I'm not gonna move either. I'm gonna
We're
stand my
apparently
ground.
really terrible at killing things, which is a little odd.
Diego's
Given
making
how
up for
often we
e-
do it, yes.
Diego's making up for all the things we killed too easily.
Well, do you know that these guys are rather weak? These guys are
Yeah,
chumps.
we like drop them fast, and
Yeah.
considering the mist, I feel like this is the perfect opportunity to. But
Then
I'm
drop him. I will follow your lead. I have already made my move.
all right.
We're metagaming.
Fuck it.
Smack a
Let's
bitch.
do it. Let's do it. Let's drop this guy.
Okay.
All right. So you're dropping the guy that's right in front of you, right?
That's right in front of me.
All right.
And this is the one that was trying to pick up what's her face.
Yep. So this
Okay.
is a guy that's trying to pick up Delina.
Yeah.
So without a roll, you actually just deck this guy right on his face and drop him down. And you can tell that Shandy had the same idea because from the purple mist, you see an arrow fly by and hit the dude that was right in front of Ulbrich, on its back, and the dude drops.
Okay, so I'm gonna start heading towards where I hear punchy, shooty stuff go on.
Okay,
Is the guy in front of me dead?
he is. And all of you now hear a lot of gelling.
Wait. Out of curiosity, the guy I decked is not dead, right?
I don't know. Tell me how it went. Did you
Well, okay, so
kill
if-
him or knock them the
yeah,
hell
I mean,
out?
if it is as simple as just decking him, bringing him down, I will probably bend down and snap his neck. We cannot have our identities known.
Okay.
Or
I will
yeah.
allow you. I will allow you to do so.
Okay.
And the guy that's in front of Ulrich is definitely dead.
Okay.
Okay, so
among-
checks me like.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So I'm guessing. How long does it take me to basically to get where they are? A couple of seconds.
A little more than that. I would say about 10 seconds. Just because right now the entire room is confused. You hear a lot of gelling, and there's a lot of people going back and forward without knowing in which direction to go. So even though you know the direction, of your party members, it'll take you some time to get there because you have to block your way through. Among the screams of the nobleman, you hear Minsk gelling and punching and slashing and just pushing his way through the crowd in order to help Delina. Konar.
After I figure out that the purple haze is not from what I am drinking, I will definitely be doing the same and trying to make my way towards where I last saw the group, but I'm not entirely sure where that was.
Okay. I would say that you have a pretty good idea. So now you hear two people screaming that you recognize. You recognize Minsk and you recognize Konar, who seem to be pushing and slashing and hitting their way through.
I won't be trying to kill people for what's worth. I'm just trying to make my way there.
Alright, well, Minsk definitely is.
Okay.
Well, he's not relevant to my interests, so that's fine.
Okay.
So can Albrecht, myself, the rogue halfling, and Delina, can we try to make our way out? Just head towards the exit? Is there enough time for us to do that?
Preferably not a front exit.
Do we know of any other exits though? We just came in, right? As far as we know, there's only one exit, and I say we go to that exit.
There are plenty of windows too.
Oh, all right.
I head to a window.
Yeah.
Dragging Delina, and I guess Shandy's with us, huh?
Yep,
Right?
Shandy is with you guys.
I say, let's go. I lead them to the nearest window.
Let's GTFO.
Okay. You guys burst through one of the windows of the Parliament of Baldur's Gate.
We can't unlatch it.
Nope.
Okay, we're bursting. Not my first choice to burst.
You can tell me if you guys want to spend a few, extra seconds trying to unlatch
crash
the
through that window.
Okay, so you guys burst through the window of the Parliament of Baldur's Gate. You guys are currently on the clay ceiling of the floor, standing, trying to get away from all this commotion with Delina and Shandy. You notice that a group of about 4 cultists wearing full cultist regalia are
That's bold.
trying to follow you guys too. Yeah. Unfortunately, Guru didn't see any of this, but had Guru seen this, he would have identified that the type of disguise they're wearing is very similar to the disguise that he wears. So they sort of transform into cultists in the same way that Guru transforms into, whatever he wants.
So anyway, while you guys are bursting through windows, I'm gonna take the two corpses, make sure they're corpses by stabbing them, and then put them near where Minsk is rampaging to make it look like he killed them.
Nice.
Good shit. Good shit.
And then I exit the building.
Yeah, it is not difficult for you to put the corpses in front of Minsk, who I would say is now following behind you guys. So this looks sort of like a Scooby-Doo cartoon. It's you guys in the ceiling, followed by the 4 cultists, who are followed by 4 members of the Flaming Fist, followed by Minsk, and Gru, who falls somewhat in between, sort of like dropping corpses in the middle of a caravan.
And Konar.
and Konar, who... What's Konar doing? Would Konar sort of try to rampage in a more delicate manner behind Minsk?
Only if he starts finding people trying to kill him. He doesn't kill innocents.
Okay. But you're following, behind Minsk.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so a few seconds go by. Everyone is on the ceiling. The cultists, you guys, Shandy, Curdle eventually found his way into this whole thing. The member of the Flaming Fist, and you guys are all running, through the buildings of Baldur's Gate, ninja style, jumping from roof to roof.
Nice.
Trying to escape the cultists. The members of the Flaming Fist are following as best as they can, even though they're wearing heavy armor. Actually, I think... Oh, no, sorry. I thought that Grimly had joined, but I got confused by the name Brian. What did you guys do? You guys are trying to escape. You're being followed. The people that are following you are being followed, and some of you guys are following behind the people that are following the people that are following you. It's a big mess.
Yeah. Do these cultists know that we are posing as? Or we don't know that, I guess.
When you burst through the windows, and I can show you the whole thing of the poor members of the Flaming Fist, trying to follow you in their heavy armor.
I'm in heavy armor too, actually.
I'm in medium.
I guess I would say to Shandy, is there a way that we can, because rogue, right? Is there a way we can get off these rooftops? Get someplace to hide?
She says definitely, but these guys are trailing too close. We need to somehow ditch them. And as she says that, she stops for a few seconds and tries to fire an arrow and in order to drive them back a little, and continues to run. So she's trying to distract them or prevent them from moving forward.
Wait, is Minsk also following?
Yes,
he's behind them.
Yes, he is. And as a matter of fact, he is slowly approaching the first group. So this guy is so strong that even though he was behind, he's slowly approaching you guys to the point that I would say he's beginning to pass the flaming fist, and he's getting closer towards Tanis. Actually, he's beginning to pass the flaming fist, and he's getting closer to the cultists that are following you guys.
Oh, so he's past me by then.
Yeah, he's past Gru and past Konar, unless I can get a Fortitude saving throw from Konar. Are you trying to keep up with Minsk?
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay, so I need a Fortitude saving throw.
That is a Constitution saving throw?
Sorry, Constitution.
Okay.
So
Hey!
Konar and Minsk have passed the flaming fist, and they are approaching the cult of the dragon, cultists at this point, and this whole caravan of fuckery.
Can I tell Delina to yell back at Konar, or yell back at Minsk that the cultists that they're catching up to are just bad guys? Just have her turn around and yell out and point, "Bad guys," and then keep running.
Okay. She does that, and as soon as she does, Minsk receives the order and tackles two of the guys from the roof and drops into the streets of Baldur's Gate with them.
Dang.
Wow, what a beast!
Seriously. What a monster.
So there's 2 cultists, 4 flaming fist guards, Gru, Konar, who is close to the 2 cultists, and you guys that are still in front trying to escape this whole situation.
I wish I had spells that's not just evocation.
Minsk is likely to kill the 2 guys, right?
Yeah, I think
most
he would.
definitely. And as a matter of fact, I forgot to mention that Minsk is gone from the whole caravan. He dropped into the street with 2 guys with him.
Am I carrying Delana?
You're not. Is that something you wish to
running.
do? You guys are running. You, Shandy,
So it's me, Delana, Shandy, and Tanis up front.
and I forgot Criddle. Criddle is actually
Criddle.
with you guys too.
No, wait, he's not gonna talk to his dad? Wasn't that the whole point?
Yeah.
Well,
but
that kind of got ruined.
I think we kind of interrupted that, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. Well, as long as we're sure that Minsk is going to kill those 2 guys that are going to talk to me.
I'm just wondering if it's. Wait, how many people are chasing us?
2 cultists and 4 guards.
Okay, so we really don't want to kill more, do we?
No, not the guards. Guards have nothing to do with this.
You might have to, because they're going to have a lot of questions for you.
Can I? Ooh, I kind of want to grab Tanis and Delana and Misty Step into an alleyway.
You can't
out of sight. I can't.
teleport people.
I can't teleport people. God damn it! I thought we did that. Okay, I'm wrong. That would only help me then.
By the way, as you guys keep jumping and jumping from roof to roof, The guards are getting tired. You guys are getting tired. The cultists are getting tired. So I want to say that the next decision you guys make will be crucial to how the story goes.
So, what's around us?
Roofs.
Roof. Buildings down below.
Yep. It is about a 14 or so feet fall from where you guys are.
Oh, 14 feet? That's nothing.
Yeah, 14, 20 feet. It's, they're 1 or 2 story buildings. You guys have descended from the high halls of the Parliament of Peers into the more common, lower, normal houses of the upper districts.
And we're just wrecking roofs along the way.
Yep.
And attracting all sorts of attention.
Oh, yeah. Attention. That's exactly what we want.
not? I'm confused.
That's alright. Would you mind tackling those 2 other cultists?
Not even remotely.
Is that
In
something
fact, that
Konar does?
Yeah, if I've caught up to them, I think I would try to push one of them. I'd try to sort of catch one by surprise and push him off the roof.
Shit,
That wouldn't-
I would say you catch the other 2 actually. If you decide to jump and tackle the other 2 in the same way that Minsk tackled the other 2, I would allow you to do so.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. It's suicidal, but it makes sense.
Okay.
It's only a 14 feet drop. You're good.
So
Yeah, you're fine.
after or I should say, following the example of Minsk, Konar tackles the 2 remaining cultists off the roof of Baldur's Gate. You take 2d6 damage, so let me go ahead and roll
Yay.
for that. Whoops.
Sorry, are you rolling that or am I?
I am rolling that. So there you go, 4 damage.
Yay!
And they land dead in front of you. You look down a few streets from where you are, and you see Minsk running as fast as his legs, take him, trying to keep up with the party.
Great.
Tanis, what do you do?
Well, I say to Shandy, now can we get off these roofs?
Okay.
Because the guards are still, they're not close enough, right? They're not that close behind us.
No, they're not.
We can ditch them, right?
Um,
Potentially.
Okay. What about Ulbrich?
so there's 4 guards, right?
Mhm.
Is this roof angled or flat?
They're angled.
I'm going to do something dumb.
Yay!
J for dumb.
I'm going to turn
What?
around, and I'm going to try and knock all the guards to one side of the roof.
Okay.
They're not that close behind.
Yeah, I mean,
That means I get a running start.
Yeah.
what is going on?
Okay, so Ulbrich is trying to follow in the example of
Minsk
Minsk
and
and Konar.
Konar.
Okay. What about Gru?
I cast Fly on myself and go fly to where Kodar dropped the bodies to make sure they're dead.
Okay.
And then dump them in a sewer.
Okay. So I will get to Gru in a couple of seconds. Ulbrich is standing in front of the 4 guards. Did you try to tackle them as they
Yeah.
come running towards you?
I'm gonna try and like linebacker charge them off the side. No, all
Okay.
like what? I'm 4 feet, 200 pounds of fury. 4'7". 4'7".
Sounds like something I don't want to get hit by.
You know, I'm gonna say that these guards are surprised by you turning back, standing your ground, and trying to, you know, knock them off the roof. That, you know, you managed to knock three of them, and the third one just ran away.
Run away!
Run away!
So, I'm assuming they all. Did I manage to get them all off on one side of the building?
Yep. So they're on the same side of the building where the other group fell. As a matter of fact, when you land and you take the same amount of damage, so you take actually a little more. You take 9 damage from falling.
Okay.
When you look down the street, you see Minsk and Konar running as fast as their legs can take them, and behind them, Gru, who seems to be doing some damage control. He seems to be stabbing, whoever, fell off the roof is not a member of the party, and trying to dispose of the bodies as cleanly as possible. So that means that Tanis, Curdle, and Shandy are the only ones with Delina.
Right? I don't like it when he says it like that.
Yeah, I knew that was the. It is what it is.
Well, I hate to do this. Because
by the way, for purposes of important stuff,
yes.
My fly speed is basically double my movement speed at 60 feet.
Oh shit! So you might be.
So basically, I can go dispose of bodies and then catch up to the party fairly easily. Because a double move on their part is a single move for me right now.
Yeah.
And he's flying.
Yep. And I still look like a nobleman.
You guys are not making things easy for the cult, definitely.
Oops.
One second, I'll be right back.
I've got this feeling we got a betrayer in our midst. But we'll see.
How do I want to play this out? No, it's hard for me to say because you guys have done very well. I'm gonna say that everyone eventually makes their way to an alleyway, and the entire party is, quote unquote, safe and united.
Okay.
Though the feeling of uneasiness and danger has definitely not disappeared.
Yeah.
So out of this whole catastrophe, you guys have been able to, successfully escape. And
Cover is hopefully maintained.
No.
Most definitely not. So the cult The cult knows who you guys are. They know that you. Well, they don't know who you are, but they definitely know that you are not who you say you were. How about that?
2 dwarves, a barbarian, and a monk, and a group
Yeah, whatever the hell Gru is.
are not welcome.
Um,
So we fucked up the chance of getting in legitimately. And we might as well be saying this out loud.
yeah.
So what happened?
So, as hard as it is for me as a DM to say this, you guys successfully escaped this whole clusterfuck of things that happened into it, during the social at the small parliament. You guys eventually, the party eventually united again at a small alleyway. Everyone is together. Gru was the last one to come in after he disposed of all the bodies. Everyone is gasping for air after running and jumping through the roofs.
I don't know what you guys are tired from here.
Alright, Flyboy. That's enough out of you.
What did you guys do? Oh, something I should mention for the sake of Gru is, even though you guys are together, you have no one following you. The atmosphere of danger and it's still there. You guys still don't feel safe, even though there's no one really following you.
Okay, well, does what's her name have a place?
Yep, he does have a hideout. As a matter of fact, you guys know where the hideout is.
Didn't we smash the door in?
You did.
Does she have another hideout?
Let's say he's got a safe-ish hideout.
Let's head there.
Because I think this is a perfect time to sit around for an hour or two and have lunch.
Okay, I'm guessing Guru wants to regain some of the spells he just used.
Oh. Yeah, okay, that works.
Okay.
Also,
So
all the health we lost fighting Stabbity McStab.
Did you guys eventually make it to the hideout, which has a giant hole in one of the walls that you guys opened when you were following them the first time around? Minsk is very excited. Apparently he was able to catch a glimpse of his friend Corin. Criddle says that he was able to tell his father more or less what was going on, and his father promised to talk to older Ravenshield, the leader of the Flaming Fist, and ask for his help in order to put an end to the Cult of the Dragon as soon as possible, probably as soon as tomorrow morning. You guys are still on edge. But for all practical purposes, you guys are able to take a short rest.
Yay! I'm gonna use some dice.
Okay.
So
Back as well.
So we're pretty much sitting in a hideout, trying to plan our next move, right?
Pretty much. So Criddle tells his party and you guys that he believes it is reasonable for everyone to sit tight and let his father and the Flaming Fist take care of the Cult of the Dragon.
How do they...
The issue, though, except now we're going to be stuck about how to infiltrate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're concerned about the caravan. Short term, what's Delana want to do? She still want to find her brother?
She's sulking.
Yeah, everything kind of went to shit. That's fair.
She wants to
Well-
see her brother. She doesn't quite believe that her brother is a douchebag. You know.
Well, her brother's probably fleeing the city about now to hook up with the caravan that we're supposed to track.
We don't know that for sure.
No, but based on no info and what our goals are and what we're supposed to do, I guess he could be fleeing the other direction. Do we
No.
know anything about this caravan that we're supposed to be tracking, going with?
You know it's gonna be here about 4 days from now. You know that it is likely to come, or a part of the caravan is likely to come through the river, because that's just the main entrance to Baldur's Gate. So in the same way that you guys came into the city.
Do we know where it's headed?
Not really. That's
Because
part of the reason you guys were sent to Baldur's Gate. That's where Sir Unthar's, data stopped. He knew that they were going to make it to Baldur's Gate. After that, it was up to you.
I see no reason for Delina's brother to flee. I think he's just gonna sit around and wait for the caravan because he doesn't know that the fist of whatever is coming after him.
So are we gonna try to take Delana to him tonight? Given that the Flaming Fist is gonna crack down tomorrow and possibly blow any chance of caravanning.
I would mention that Delina's brother probably knows that you guys are not who you say you were.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
That being said, you guys might be able to strike a deal with him if you bring Delina with you guys. It's hard to say, but your cover as cultists, as dragon
It's just
cultists,
completely
it's just forget about that.
Alright, at this point, I see no reason not to go see him. We kind of have to now.
We do?
Sorry, not to go see who?
Wait, just the brother. We
Why?
need to get more. We need to get more information on the caravan. We got to get to the caravan somehow.
Or we could wait and visit him in jail.
That's assuming he
Gets
gets
captured.
caught.
Yeah, we might want to be in on that one.
Yeah.
So let's go find Corin. That seems to be our current conclusion. Or whoever is leading the Flaming Fist, or what have you.
Yeah, Corin might be a good place to start. However, when you bring that up, Criddle says, you clearly don't know my father. Or the Flaming Fist. They first throw you in jail before, you get anywhere near close to them.
Right, this isn't greenest.
Or, wherever we were that we met the Order of the Gauntlet. Those guys were cool, too.
Yeah.
Those guys are cool.
These guys aren't.
Well, you guys are terrible at describing yourselves.
Never claimed to be good at them.
Well, the night is, going by.
Okay.
Shandy-
Drew's gonna go for a walk
Okay.
by
Shandy
himself.
Shandy gets ready to go to bed. Criddle, stands by a window and pretends to, take guard, though he's pretty tired himself. And Delina also retires to her room. What do Konar, Alberic, and Tanis do?
I'll just not necessarily stand guard, but do my elven meditation outside Delina's door.
Okay.
Boy, that's not creepy.
Hey, gotta make sure she's safe.
Konar.
I mean, if resting is the current plan, I'm definitely okay with that.
Okay. Albrecht.
Sure you don't want to drink, barbarian?
I always want to drink, dwarf.
I say we go to the pub.
We could go to a pub for a couple hours and then come back and nap. Sounds like a plan.
Are there
Okay.
any? No, I guess that wouldn't do us any good. Okay. Are there any pubs that are like guard friendly, like off-duty guards?
Yeah, most taverns don't really have any sorts of guards. Okay.
Wait. Sorry, I think you misunderstood. I mean, like, are there any nearby taverns where there would be guards off duty or places we could get information on the Flaming Fist? Like, just overhearing. Obviously, we won't overhear anything useful tonight, but I'm thinking in future nights
Okay.
we can find out what's going on with the Cult of the Dragon.
Okay. All right. Give me a second because I'm doing Gru things.
Or we could just simplify what I just said and let's just me and Konar get drunk.
We should probably write these out on the chat as whispers. That way, the people of the internet know what's going on with Guru. So it's not a complete mystery.
Well, they're following your screen. They can see it.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe
I
we
see.
should do
Let's
these as
impress.
whispers. Okay. I'm done with Gru.
No, hang on. One more thing.
Okay. Okay. All right. So all right. So Albrecht and Konar eventually make it to a tavern. While Konar's interest on this journey is just to get drunk and hammer and have a good time, Albrecht does seem to have some other motives behind it. He's trying to gather information on the Flaming Fist. So he's asking questions about, what the Flaming Fists are, the leadership, how they work, places in which they gather. He's able to discover a few things about the Flaming Fist. Members of the Flaming Fist do not normally leave the guard tower in the bridge, which is where they are, unless they are on guard duty. And they're a pretty tight group. They're considered, uncorruptible for all practical purposes. They're legit, even though they are essentially a mercenary group. They are very loyal to the city, and they have, the best interests of the city. in mind. So those are the things that you find about the flaming fist. They also mention the name of older Ravenshield, who's the leader, and who's this really cool dude that's uncorruptible and stands only for justice and whatnot. Tanis, what is your passive perception?
Passive perception. Let me
Uh-oh.
see. Character sheet. Perception. Total of +6, so I guess 16.
Okay. So a few minutes after you start your meditation, you notice a rumbling noise coming from inside Delina's room. Or you hear a rumbling noise coming from inside Delina's room. What do you do?
I'm gonna knock on the door real loud and say, Delina, are you alright?
No answer.
Alright, at this point, I try to open the door.
You open the door, and you see Delina's room with the bed perfectly made and the window open.
Oh shit. Alright, I run to the window and look out. Do I see her at all?
You see her running away.
Fuck. Okay, I turn around and yell, where's Minsk? Is Minsk, like...
He's around. He's with the guys that remain in the house.
Okay, I'll yell, Minsk, and everyone else, Delina's out the window. And then I jump down after her.
Okay. So you are following after Delina, who's just running away like an idiot. You assume that she's trying to get to her brother, even though everyone and their mother has warned her about her brother. A few seconds go by, and Minsk catches up to you. Still, Curdle and Shandy are not as fast as... Well, they're definitely not as fast as Minsk, and they don't have the lead that you had, since you were the first one to alert them of the situation.
Yep.
A few seconds go by, and a globe of darkness appears in front of Delina, covering you and Minsk.
Son of a bitch.
So you guys are surrounded in darkness.
That's great.
And
Yeah, that never ends badly.
And you feel this sort of cold, almost liquid, this cold sensation, almost as if a very cold liquid was being poured on top of you. And then
Cold liquid.
Yeah. And then the sensation stops, and you are teleported into a room.
Lovely.
So it is you, Delina, and Minsk. You guys are in a very plain room with stone walls. Deliak, Delina's brother, has Delina on a chokehold and is chanting this weird ritual in front of a magic circle.
Great.
You and Minsk are standing in front of them. You're very surprised by everything that's going on right now. And I would assume you try to react to this whole situation. What do you try to do?
I guess I try to... Well, is there anyone else in the room? Like,
Nope.
do I have...
Just you four.
Just the four of us?
Yes.
Okay. I will try to do a leg sweep and sweep both their legs. I'm assuming they're both standing. Sweep both their legs from under them.
When you do that, you realize that there is some sort of force field, you assume, coming from the circle that's between them, protecting them.
Oh fuck! I wish I had silence. Now at this point, I guess attack the force field with
Okay.
shocking grasp or whatever spells. Yeah. Well, first I tried to punch it with Chidori.
Yep.
Shocking grasp.
And Minsk has the same idea you do, and he tries to hit the force field as hard as he can, and it's not budging. About 3 seconds of you guys attacking the force field go by, and Daniak just drops Delina. As she falls into the floor, she's gasping for air, and she says, "No, what have you done?" Daliak begins to say yes, and screaming louder and louder, "Yes, yes, I feel the power surging through my body."
Wait, holy shit.
In front of Minsk, Delina, and you, Tanis, you see Delia grow bigger. His skin
What?
beginning to turn red as he grows bigger and bigger. Eventually, though, he realizes that something went wrong with whatever ritual he was trying to cast, either out of ignorance or, something actually going wrong. But the transformation of his body doesn't stop, and he grows bigger and bigger, turning himself into a lizard-like figure. Delina is now yelling, "Brother, what have you done? What have you, turned into?" And in front of you, Diliak is slowly turning into a red dragon.
Wow. Wow.
The shield is gone. Minsk turns to you and says, "Life is adventuring or is nothing." And he runs towards Daliak and tries to grapple him as he's turning into a dragon. What do you do?
Crap. I guess I run up and try to end him before he fully turns into a dragon.
As you try to smack him, you
Yeah.
realize that the skills in his body are too hard for just a simple hit.
Okay. And I'm gonna guess Chidori is not even gonna work.
Shidori might work, but are you trying to get on top of this guy just like Minsk is, or are you trying to punch him from below?
I guess punch him from below.
Okay. Go ahead and give me your Shidori roll.
Okay. Let me see. I guess it's just a regular attack. Where is it? Here we go. $15. That's
Yes.
7, and then I'd roll a D8 for damage if that hit.
No, that's a miss, unfortunately.
All right. At this point, I am going to scoop up
So this is
Delina.
what that sort of looks like as he's transforming into a red dragon. With
Yeah,
Minsk
I'm gonna
and
scoop
Thanos in
up
front.
Delina and say, Delina, we gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here now.
Okay. You do so successfully.
Yeah.
All of you, except Tanis, you hear a rumbling noise coming from outside whatever building you guys are on.
Oh, this
Great.
by this time I'm back.
Sorry?
I'm back by this time.
You may not be back, but even if you're not, you certainly hear, the noise of, a building collapsing, a tremor. And as you guys all walk towards the outside of whatever building you guys are in, you see a burst of flame coming from the building you guys all know to be the hideout of the Cult of the Dragon.
Alright.
I guess we stumble that way.
We're not that drunk, I hope. Especially not if we're seeing gouts of flame.
And I actually have another handout to show you guys. And that is Diliac with Minsk sort of flying into the the sky of the city of Baldur's Gate. In the picture, though, he does have Delina, but because Tanis managed to save her, she is not being held hostage by Dragon Diliac.
I'm sure that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I always wanted to kill a dragon.
Well, I guess now's our chance.
Now's our chance. Fucking heck. Oh my god, we're so boned.
Okay. So, I assume
Oh yeah,
you
we have no
guys...
heals either.
Yeah. So, I assume you guys are
I have
all running towards the hideout of the Cult of the Dragon. Is that correct?
Yep.
I'm debating whether or not just go back to sleep.
Yes, we are all running towards it.
I'm gonna roll for it.
Oh my god. Kill you.
Okay. As you guys are all running towards the hideout, eventually you guys all meet at one of the larger streets, and that includes Criddle and Shandy. So you guys are all running together, in order to intercept Deliac, who you guys all realize has, Minsk on top of him. Griddle says, we need to deal with this right here, right now. Delina is sobbing. She doesn't believe that this is going on. She doesn't believe that her brother has turned into this big Tiamat worshipping douchebag. Criddle has an idea. He says we should all go to the highest place in the city, and we should. Well, they do have a few ideas. They're looking for arrows. They're looking for like dragon slaying weapons, but none of them are at your reach. They're probably at the reach of the Flaming Fist and the other guards of the city, but definitely not at your disposal. So, Criddle and Chandy suggest that you guys go to a high building and try to lasso Deliac and get on top of him and try to wrestle him down into
Are you
floor level.
kidding me?
Alright, good luck with that.
So that is Criddle and Chandy's plan. Is that something that
That
you
is
guys
a
want?
stupid plan.
I thought we came up with bad plans, but that's worse.
No, I think let's set the camp on fire plan.
Yeah, that one still takes the cake
Yes.
That worked though.
for a
This might work.
little bit. It worked until it didn't.
It worked until we failed the roll.
It worked more than it should have.
And it will work more than a lasso.
How high up are they?
About 70, 80 feet up in the air. You guys see Deliac struggling, either because he's not familiar with this form or because he has a giant human warrior punching him on his face.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if they're that close, I just pew pew them.
So Gru wants to pew pew him.
Yeah, just go pew.
I bet I could throw Albrecht that high. No, I'm.
I bet you
I'm
could.
If a dwarf functioned in the air, B, what would he do?
I think it's a
You're
good
barely
idea.
right.
Okay. Delina and
I wa-
Curdle are looking at you guys and say, "You guys in or not?"
Okay, hang on. Jerry, you have range attacks, right?
Yes, I do have ranged attacks.
How much range?
Let me see. What are my spells? I have magic missile. I believe that's only 30 feet.
No, magic missile should be 120, I believe.
120. Okay.
Okay.
I have two magic missiles. Yeah, they're 120, and then I have unlimited fire bolts.
Okay. What's the range on firebolt?
120.
Okay. Okay. I walk up to.
I should mention that red dragons are immune to fire.
Oh yeah, good
You still have
point.
magic missile, so you're fine for a while.
I have two. I can cast magic missile twice. I'm a level 1 sorcerer.
Well, I can't help 3 of you. I walk up to our local.
Curdle and Shandy and
No,
Delina.
I walk up to Albert and Konar, pat them both on the shoulder, and cast fly twice.
Oh my god.
How long does fly last?
10 minutes.
Do they control it?
Yes.
Well.
Wait, hang on. I need to check something. I might not be able to do it twice.
All right.
Damn it! This is one of the concentration. Okay, flip a coin. Which one of you gets to fly?
Well, if one person's able to fly, how much can they carry? Do we know?
Not another person.
I actually only weigh 125, so.
All right. I'm going to just follow Crito and
That's
rogue.
kind of our best bet at this point. Save the fly until we get close enough.
Yeah, screw this. I'll try to. I should have just jumped on in the first place, but I wanted to get her out of there. All right.
That's good. That's good. Because things would have been a lot more difficult if she'd been with him.
Plus, I actually do have a ranged weapon. I'm not very good at them, but I have javelins, so I can throw them.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, but you
Four
have
of
an
them.
unlimited amount of javelins, right? You got one
Don't
javelin.
feel the pull of gravity.
I have 4.
Oh, you have 4 javelins.
Go forth. Be free.
I'm gonna go with the other 2 and try to lasso my way onto the dragon,
Okay.
which sounds like a horrible idea, but
Yeah.
So
Why
Tanis,
not?
Tanis is following Curdle and Shandy into the roof of a tower. What is Konar, Ulbrich, and Guru doing? What are they doing?
I'm going with them.
Good. Alright. What about Ulbrich?
I am too.
Wait, I gave you a fly.
You hearing me fly?
Yeah.
I'll fly. I'll fly.
And I'm just gonna stand on a roof and shoot the dragon because I can reach it.
Okay. Good. So up straight goes Ulbrich. Does Ulbrich want to land on top of the dragon, or does he want to sort of float around the dragon?
I want to float around the dragon because I can fly and I'm gonna take advantage of this shit.
Okay. Tanis, Konar, Curdle and Shandy. For some very lucky DM railroading event managed to make it on top of the dragon. So
What?
I'll bring you guys to
Teleport
the
on a dragon instantly.
next event. So you guys climb into the tower. You know, Shandy shoots an arrow with a rope, and you guys all hold on into the rope and climb your way into Red Dragon Deliac.
Yeah, I don't see that actually happening. But alright.
So let me drop you guys.
This guy has the worst hobbies.
So Ulbrich is... Whoops, sorry. So Ulbrich is floating around. Konar is over here.
That is a big dragon.
Where's Konar?
Holy shit snacks.
Konar. Tannis.
How are we supposed to wrestle this thing down? It's gigantic.
Through repeated application of blunt instrument.
Okay, you make a convincing counterargument.
And let's say that Gru is over here just doing whatever it is that Gru wants to do. Okay,
That is a massive dragon.
so let's
That
go
is a
ahead
massive dragon.
and start initiative. So I'll go ahead and roll for Deliac.
Guys, I want you to know that we are so screwed.
Worst.
Do you guys have? Does anyone actually have that that background that allows them to have knowledge of dragons?
What
No.
background would that be?
There's a background thing for Horde of the Dragon Queens. I'm not sure if Konar took it.
Don't think
Yeah.
anyone has.
That's okay. Yeah, I didn't think so either. But yes, this is a big ass dragon that is flying through the city of Baldur's Gate.
I'm pretty sure someone has noticed by now.
Yes, as a matter of fact, you guys are seeing guards and townfolk, you know, either running or gathering around the dragon in order to see what the hell is going on.
Nothing to see here. Move along.
Move along.
Wow, and here I was thinking that I rolled shitty, Elric.
Well, I gotta balance out all my other awesomeness.
I can't select my dude to roll initiative.
This
damn it.
happens every week.
Every single time.
Go for it. It should be able to control it now.
Okay. There we go. Initiative. There.
Okay. Move on to display.
I'm gonna try something. Okay. That actually worked.
Gru, Daniac, Tannis, Gonar, and Alberich. So that's it. The other guys are off the initiative roll for all practical purposes of this fight. So that means that Gru, you go first.
Okay. I hex the dragon.
Okay.
And then-
Good. Oh,
What?
wait. Nothing.
Yeah, I hex the druid.
Okay.
And zap and zap.
So, what is his H? Hold on. Sorry. Where's Daniac? Okay, we'll write that down. So everyone has an idea. At least anyone watching has an idea. So those are all going to be hits.
The first one is not a real thing.
Oh, so the first one is the your hex.
No, the first one was me testing to see whether it actually worked.
Okay.
So it's the second one and the third one that are
Okay.
actual facts.
All right. What is your
Wait, so the 16 hits.
16 hits.
Okay. So
Advantages of it being a really goram big creature.
yeah. Okay, so 11, 20, 24 damage. So
What does your hex do?
Hex give me an extra dice.
Okay. Daniac's turn. Everyone on top of Daniac needs to give me a strength.
Oh, jeez. Strength,
in order,
really?
Yeah, in order to stay on top of Daniac.
I'm sorry, save or roll?
Roll. Strength check. A 13 or higher will do it.
I got a 12!
Bye!
How about this? And it is something that I first meant to say. How exactly are you trying to hold on to this dragon? So you guys are flying. You guys are on top of a very rambunctious, angry red dragon as you fly to Baldur's Gate. How exactly are you trying to hold on to him?
He's got big spines, so I guess I'm personally gonna try to grab a hold of one of the spines and just try to.
What about you, Konar?
I'd probably be trying to hang on to the edge of the wing, like up here or over here.
Okay. What about you, Albrecht?
I'm flying.
Oh, that's right. Albrecht is flying. Okay. So those of you that are trying to hang on to him by a sheer feat of strength need a strength roll. So,
lovely.
Unfortunately, Konar just fell down.
Yay!
So Konar fell.
Okay.
And Konar takes 23 damage
Wow.
Ow!
as he falls into the city. And unfortunately,
Bad day.
Konar is out of the fight.
What?
Unless he can...
No, you can still throw stuff.
Yeah, he can try and run, I guess. What was your initiative? I guess, yeah. The thing is, this
Well,
this
I'm
thing
at
is
half health. I'm bloodied.
this thing is pretty fast. I doubt you're gonna be able to keep up. I said.
Oh, so it's actually going to get out of range of me too.
Well, you need to give me a different type of check if you want to keep up.
All
right. Tanis holds on. So do Kirtle, Chandy, and Minsk. As a matter of fact, after all this thing happens, Tanis, you realize that both Krindle and Shandy are trying to tie ropes along the scales of Daniac. And Minsk has his sword stabbed right into the back of the dragon, and he's trying to tie a rope from the, pommel of his sword around his waist.
Sounds like a plan. Do I have rope?
You do. It's part of the basic adventuring kit.
Okay, then I guess I will use the rope and try to tie myself along either I guess the same thing, either the scales or the spine, whatever I can actually get the rope to hook on.
Next time,
since I don't have any bladed weapons.
Yeah. Next time you roll, you'll have advantage on that roll.
Oh, nice.
It brings us to Tanis, actually. Tanis, what do you do? So you tie
Um,
yourself around a scale with what little rope you have on you. After you
Okay.
do so, what do you do?
I guess what can I do but punch it?
Go for it. Roll.
Alright. Where's my character sheet? Here it is. Chidori attack.
Actually, Connor, you can try to climb on top of him. That's a hit.
Oh, nice! And I'd add on top of that a d8. D8. I do 12 damage total.
Okay.
Second attack. I do, wow, 8.
Okay.
And then third attack, wow, I do another 5. So I do a total of 25 damage.
That's pretty decent. Ulbrich, your turn. You're flying around.
Yeah. So I'm going to go around in a manner that I'm not in reach of his head, and I'm going to go for the joint of his wing shoulder area, and I'm going to swing my hammer at him.
Okay.
I utter a vow of enmity, which gives me advantage. And
So,
I'm going
as
to...
go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna roll for to see if my attack's gonna hit.
Yeah.
27. I think that hits with the crit.
That is a hit. What about the first roll? That 15, is that part of? So the first roll.
Yeah, first roll for I rolled twice for advantage.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah. So I'm going to swing the big hammer, as well as use up a divine smite. Let's see, I can use second spell slot. Yeah. So that's plus 3d8. 17 damage. God damn it. On the first swing.
Okay. As you attack the wing, you realize that Deliac loses his balance a little bit, and he scrapes his wing against, one of the buildings he's flying across, and almost sort of stumbles into the ground.
Hit him again.
Alright, start punching the wing.
So
Rue.
I'm gonna hit him again.
Oh.
Because I have 2.
3 attacks. Yeah, go for it.
So 25.
It's a hit.
4 damage. Awesome.
You don't
Oh,
have
wait,
any
sorry.
strength bonus to the damage?
That should be 8 damage.
Yeah.
I accidentally deleted it off the roll.
That didn't work. Sorry, that was just a test.
It's okay.
So I hit him for 8 more on top
Yep.
of the 17 from
You
earlier.
realize that every time you hit the wing, he definitely tends to lose his balance,
Momentum,
flying a little
balance.
bit. That brings us to Gru. Gru, you can
Okay.
attack first. Okay. The second one is going to be a hit.
Shit. 8 damage.
And I need you to give me a Constitution check to try and keep up with him.
Oh, I have to run to follow. Yep. Wait, that's charisma.
Ha!
Okay. You are still in the list. Good. Daniac. So I'm going to need a strength check from Tanis with advantage.
Alrighty then. D20, roll. And roll again. 12. That didn't save, did it?
Nope.
Motherfucker.
So Tanis is
Join the party!
Yep. He is out with Konar. As a matter of fact, you guys do bump into one another. You guys see, Konar is trying to keep up with the dragon as it's flying by. Tanis is still on top of him, as well as Griddle, Shanty, Misk, and Boo. How do you guys want to get on top of Daniac again?
Wait, I'm no longer on top, or am I still on?
Nope, you're no longer on top. You. Oh shit! I
Okay.
forgot to roll your damage. Sorry.
Motherfucker.
31 damage. Are you still alive?
31?
Yes.
Holy shit! Yeah, I'm barely hanging on.
Okay. So you bump
I
into.
believe my next plan for the for how to get it back up there was to start shouting insults and have him and try to pull him down.
Your mother was a goblin.
Cobalt.
I believe that was the next step in my plan because I'm kind of out of other ideas at this point.
Okay.
Foul language and javelins is pretty much all I have left.
Okay. Does Tanis have a
I can
a better idea?
For now, I'm gonna shoot a magic missile at its wing, or just at it.
Okay.
That's my current idea until I come up with something better.
Yeah. So when it comes around, you might be able to shoot him. So you're gonna lose a turn. Albrecht, you're flying. What do you do?
You're muted.
Thank you. I think I'm gonna smack his shoulder again.
Go for it. And I will say that the okay, so the first one is a hit.
22. Yay.
So I want to say that Criddle and Shandy realize that whenever Ulbrich hits his, Deliac's wing, he stumbles. So they're starting to do the same on the left wing. And Minsk is just walking at it. Damn, is that
24 on the first swing. 24 damage, that is.
that's a lot of damage.
And I assume a 25 hits again, so... 12 damage on top of that.
Okay.
So much deeps.
Konar, so you're just shouting curses?
Basically, I'm shouting lots of profanity. I'm telling him to come down and fight like a dragon and not run like some worm.
Okay. Group.
And I will throw a javelin. That's at... he is more than 30 but less than 120 feet away, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's at disadvantage on the attack roll.
Okay, go for it.
Sorry. Wow,
Yep, that's a hit.
Nice.
that was actually a damn good roll.
Yeah, for disadvantage especially. So Deliac has a little, toothpick poking out of his belly. Gru.
Whoop. Last one doesn't count.
So the second one hits. That's
Yep.
4 damage.
I am rolling low.
You notice that due to the weight of, 3 people, is Ulbrich on top of him or is floating by?
I'm floating.
Yep. So you realize that due to the weight of Min, Skirtle, and Chandy, Delic is having a hard time, keeping altitude. Gru, can I get another Constitution saving throw? Constitution check from you? Sorry.
Sure.
Okay, you're still keeping up. Tannis. What is the range in your magic missile?
120 feet.
Okay, you can hit him still.
Hooray!
Laser.
Magic missile does 3d4. So let me just roll that.
So Deliak is struggling to keep up with you guys, so that's 8 damage towards Deliak because it's magic missile. And as soon as Tannis's magic missile, hit him, I'm gonna say on one of its wings, you realize that Deliak is now beginning to lose altitude. So it is Deliak's turn. So I'm gonna need a strength check from Tannis again with advantage.
No,
Actually,
wait.
no,
I
Tannis is
thought-
gone. So no one. So that means it's Ulbricht's turn, who's still flying around.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hit him. You're muted again.
Thanks. We're swinging again. Yay.
Yay.
Oh, that's a crit. I need to read it. Roll it.
It's a hit.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yep.
Nice. Crit hit and a crit the other way on damage.
Yeah.
Yep. Crit hit, crit miss. 19 damage.
Okay.
And then the second swing is for... Does a 15 make it through?
It does not.
Yeah. Okay.
However, with your first hit, Diliac begins to lose altitude. He crashes into one of the buildings. Min's, Criddle, and Shandy go down with him. Rue, Tannis, Konar, and you are trying to keep up as best you can as he falls down and crashes into one of the buildings. And I believe it is time for us to call it a night. Next week, it is Diliac Phase 2.
Yay.
So you guys managed to ground him. Now
Nice.
he fights from the floor.
Good
All
work.
right.
Go team.
Fantastic.
All right, so that is it for tonight. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much, guys, for playing.
course.
We will play again next Tuesday, hopefully, and we'll continue fighting Red Dragon Diliac.
Praise.
All right.
Yay.
Awesome.
Good night, guys. Have fun. See you guys around. Bye bye.
Later.
Bye.